Football Hall of Fame inductees will be announced on Saturday. Randy Moss is a first-time finalist, while Terrell Owens is on the ballot for the third time. Moss is second all-time in touchdown receptions, and Owens is right behind him in third. We're joined now by Rob Parker. And Shannon, I want to get this started with you. Who was better? Just because, why not start with you? We got T.O., we got Moss.
Skip, I look at it like this. Some people for breakfast, they like pancakes. Some people like French toast. Some people like Belgian waffle.
Which do you like?
I'm a pancake.
Okay.
I'm simple. You know, pancake, Belgian waffle.
When was the last time you had a pancake?
It's been a while.
Really good question.
But I like pancakes.
Okay, I'm just right. He doesn't eat pancakes.
They're so similar. They're really similar when you break it down, but I would take T.O. T.O. has 96 more catches, 642 more yards. Moss had 3 more touchdowns. Both were 6-time Pro Bowlers. Moss was a 5-time All-Pro. Randy was a 4-time All-Pro. My thing is, this is where I give the nod to T.O. I can't, how do I get past a guy telling me I play hard when I want to? I never wanted to question that, Skip.
Yep.
I wanted to know. I never asked a man more than I was willing to give.
Yep.
That's all I wanted from him. When he said that, you never questioned. I mean, you might say, well, T.O. was mercurial, his personality rubbed people the wrong way. But, dude, when he went on that field, he was that dog. He played hard.
He did.
And
I give you that. He played hard every snap.
And I
like played with rage every snap.
Yes. And for me, Randy, I think Randy is the greatest deep threat receiver that we've ever seen. He could high point the ball. He got into the red zone. They throw jump balls because he could jump 12 feet in there and pluck the ball out of there. T.O., I think, was a little better run after the catch because he came up in the West Coast system. And in the West Coast system, yeah, they threw the ball deep some, but it was a lot of short passes because that was the run game. And so they coined the term rack, run after catch, or yak, yards after catch. That's what T.O. was great at. He was that big, he was like the Jerry Rice, my brother, to run at the big body guys that could play through contact, could run after the catch. It was explosive. So for me, I don't want to get into this. Well, Randy had to wait. Chris Carter had to wait. Michael Irvin had to wait. It ain't about waiting. If the guy, can you tell the story of the NFL without telling Randy Moss side of it? Can you tell it without telling T.O. side of it? Well, they should be in the Hall of Fame. But for me, I'm splitting hairs here. I'm pancakes. I'm taking T.O.
That's, and I don't want to jump in, Skip.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
I was going to say that's the one thing that bothers me about the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know. As a baseball voter, I know how the criteria and I do know what gets people in almost automatic normally and what doesn't. Here, I just don't know.
Right.
And that's, I think, what bothers me. You just said this. It took Chris Carter, what, 15 years?
Six times.
How many years? 6?
I think he got on his 6th try.
Okay, but it took forever.
Well, it took this man
took me three.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the process, so I'll just leave it there. But you might think that I would pick Randy Moss, Skip, especially since I watched him in the old NFC Central and the NFC North, now the NFC North, right? Minnesota playing the Lions. He used to kill the Lions. And I agree. He was worth the price of admission. He just was. But the numbers, when you look at T.O.'s numbers, 16 season, 16,000 yards, the touchdowns, they're right there, right next to each other.
He was an all-pro with 3 different teams. Only 3 men did that. Other 2 were first ballot Hall of Famers, Deion Sanders and Distort, Ted Hendricks.
And the other part is, what you brought up is it's hard to shake a guy who takes plays off, who doesn't play hard all the time. You can say all the stuff you want about T.O., but I don't think he ever cheated you as a player.
Did not.
You always got your money's worth. And don't forget, that Super Bowl when he's with the Eagles, this guy shouldn't even been on the field. And not only did he play, he produced.
He also hampered, but go ahead.
But he did, Skip. But he did give it. How many guys would do that, put themselves in jeopardy, playing on an injury to get out
what was
there?
going on, but I'll give you that.
No,
Like the Eagles had a chance with Freddie Mitchell and James Stratt. Man, y'all better stop playing, Skip.
Oh, wait, the Eagles had just won 2 playoff games with no T.O.
But
Go ahead.
I would take T.O. over Randy Moss. No slight of Randy Moss at all. They're so close. But I think if I had to just say the difference of split hairs, it would be T.O. over Randy Moss.
I cannot tell you how much I disagree with both of you. And I believe if we put both of you on the lie detector and ask you, you can start your team with one or the other, you would, without hesitation, take Randy Moss.
I'm taking T.O.
You can say that now, but I don't believe you. I just don't believe you.
I said it when I was playing. Skip, if you watch, you got to watch them on tape, because a lot of times we crossed and we played the same teams they were playing, so we're looking at the offense against the defense. People don't realize how special T.O. was. I mean, they don't like his personality, they don't like the yelling and the antics on the sideline, but I'm telling you, I can make a case he's the second greatest receiver to ever put on a helmet.
In my career, I have never seen anything like Randy Moss. He revolutionized the game of pro football as a rookie alongside our man Chris Carter, who became his big brother and mentor. But even that first year with Dante Culpepper going bombs away, do you remember Thanksgiving at Dallas, because he wanted to take it out on the Cowboy team that had passed him, just the way he took it out on every team that had passed him?
Lions passed him as well. Everybody did. Right.
Yeah, I was working in Chicago, and I'm just beating the table, writing columns. You have to take this guy.
And they,
no, he's too.
Who did they take? Curtis Enos?
Which draft was that? Yeah, was that the Curtis?
98.
Yeah.
Might have been.
It was Curtis Enos, yep. So the point is, at Dallas on Thanksgiving, Randy Moss caught 3 balls in that game. One went for a 51-yard, 56-yard, and 56-yard touchdown. So he caught 3 balls for long-distance touchdowns, because that's who he was. He ran 4.240. T.O. was more in that 4.5 range. And you want to talk about hands? Randy Moss had hands. He had reliable, trustable, big-time, big play hands. And Terrell Owens led the league, and the stats are a little hazy on this, but multiple times he led the league in dropped passes.
That's amazing with all the yards and
but I covered him, and trust me, there was a big game in 2001 after 9/11, and they played their rival Rams in San Francisco, and Terrell dropped balls that just cost them the game. He would do it in some big moments. I'm not saying he always did it, but Randy Moss had much surer hands.
Well, you remember in 98, Skip, he dropped all those passes, and then he ended up catching the game winner against Green Bay. He caught it.
And
he caught it.
I covered a number of games in which T.O. and Randy went head-to-head, and trust me on this, Randy always won the head-to-head because he would just rise and shine. And T.O. was a 3rd-round pick, and he was just always a little insecure in sort of the presence of Randy Moss. And the signature Randy Moss game came at your Metrodome in Minneapolis back in 2003. Yeah. And Randy just went off. 8 catches for 172 and 3 touchdowns. Terrell caught 5 for 55, but it triggered the infamous rant up and down the sideline.
Yeah, he should have been upset.
Against Greg Knapp, the coordinator, who was sitting on the bench just cowering.
Right.
When we played the Patriots with Ben Coates, when we played the Chiefs with Tony Gonzalez, I'm telling Steve Atwater and Bill Romanowski, don't y'all let them show me up. That's your responsibility to stop him. Well, do not let this man show me up in my house.
And Terrell was so embarrassed that he went in the locker room after the game, and I was there, and he campaigned to demote Jeff Garcia from starting quarterback and to promote one Tim Rattay from Louisiana Tech, a 7th-round draft pick.
Did you write that column that day?
Did I?
That was Skip.
He said it in confidentiality. You don't go repeat.
No, he said it. He was campaigning for it.
Unbelievable, Skip. That was a free column there.
Okay, but again, and both of them could be very destructive to their teams in the locker room. They both had all their issues, and I don't even want to get into those. Yeah. But just to me, if I just do eye test, man, this guy, and Terrell had a great career, and those yards, I can't argue with any of your numbers. They're huge. They're.
You know, both of them play for 5 teams, right?
Yeah.
Both of them.
I know.
Now, oh, let me ask you a question. What would the Raiders say about T.O.?
I know what they said, because I talked to the head man about it.
Okay.
Because he loved him, and then he did not love him.
Name the team that will ever tell you T.O. quit on them. Quit.
I can tell you 3 that he tore apart. And but he never quit, Skip, and that's the thing that I think Randy Moss has to
remember. Remember, Minnesota traded him. Mm-hmm. They got from up under.
No, I mean,
and then they cut it after they traded for him again to get him back from New England. They cut him in.
How happy was Randy Moss for 3 years in New England? How happy? Was he engaged? Did he play every play? I think he did.
How happy was
Did you see what happened in 2007? You ever see anything quite like that?
No, it was a great year. Let
me ask you a question. Yeah. T.O.'s first 3 years, you never heard anything like this? Everything was going great for Randy.
But he was playing in the shadow of one Jerry Rice.
He was so great. What did they do? On Jerry Rice Day, the man caught 20 catches for 265.
Okay, but I was there covering that game because I was at the Chicago Tribune. It was against the Bears and
They wouldn't
Cade
let Jerry go
McNeil.
off.
And
Skip,
they
what
just
game
said
didn't you cover?
it's Jerry Rice Day. And the dumb Chicago Bears said, okay, we're going to like triple cover Jerry Rice.
Leave
and
Theo
we're going to leave, and he caught 20 balls on nobody, on air. You know, like, let's just keep throwing.
I mean, it is really, really so close. It is.
I give you it's close, but in the end, it's not. It's like, boom, this guy. And again,
But I think you're looking at it from Randy Moss was more spectacular. I just think
I just want him on my team. And I'm taking nothing away from Terrell. I take nothing away, but I want Randy Moss on my team because I can go bombs away, and he's probably going to outrun somebody.
I might not get no bomb. I just want to get the ball in his hands. He's going to run over somebody. He's going to go over the top of somebody. Man, hey, he was a monster.
Yeah.
And then who had the celebrations?
Oh,
Who had the pom-pom? Who danced with the cheerleaders?
popcorn, everything.
Hey, he and Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, they both belong in the separate wing of the Hall of Fame for the Entertainers Hall of Fame.
With the Sharpies.
With Billy White shoes.
You know what? I figured it out. I figured out why Skip don't like upset at
here we
T.O.
go.
I'm not upset. I'm just telling you the
What did
truth.
he do 3 times in Cowboy Stadium?
What he
ran on the star.
Ran on the star.
He said, God, you got to see this. You got to see what I'm doing to these Cowboys down here.
You did.
I know you busy. It's a Sunday. And you normally busy on this. But look at your boy.
And then when he played for the Cowboys,
He gave it to
Bill
you.
Parcells said, I don't want him on.
Skip, he was an
There are
all-pro.
things you don't forget. And I mean, Randy Moss was a big part of my childhood in Minnesota.
bet he
so
was.
I mean, I'm obviously on Skip's side here, so I'm just going to end
Jenny.
on that since I'm in charge of this thing.
Jenny, don't let Skip break us up.
Rob, thank you for
Don't let Skip do
Oh.
that. Don't let Skip do that.
We'll be back later on in the show, so I appreciate your time. Did the Cavs fix their defensive problems last night? Yeah, they've been struggling. We'll discuss that with Eddie House. That's next.